Hey, everybody. Welcome to another deep dive. Today we are going green, getting swampy even. We're talking about the Shrek 5 teaser trailer.
Shrek 5.
Yeah. I know it's been, like 15 years since the last Shrek movie.
It's been a while.
So, yeah, anticipation is super high. And, well, the internet has thoughts. And we're going to dive into those today. We're using this article from The Independent, which breaks down the teaser and a lot of the early reactions. It's pretty interesting stuff.
I'm always amazed by just how much conversation just a, minute-long trailer can generate.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? It really shows you how much Shrek means to, so many people.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me, set the stage. The teaser, gives us little peeks of Shrek and Fiona.
Oh.
Donkey, of course.
The gang's all here?
Exactly. But there's a new addition to the family.
Ooh.
Their daughter, Felicia, who's being voiced by Zendaya.
Really? Yeah. And it looks like they're, playing around with the magic mirror, which, with Shrek involved leads to some, interesting images. Plus, Pinocchio shows up for a quick nose-growing gag, like classic Shrek humor.
Yeah, that classic Shrek humor is definitely there. But, the animation style is, it's pretty different.
Yeah, that's been causing a lot of buzz online. The article talks about how some fans are super hyped. They're so excited that the franchise is coming back. But then you've got this whole other group that are, they're saying that Shrek and Donkey look disturbingly old.
Oh, no.
Yeah, some are even comparing the new art style to that whole Sonic the Hedgehog thing. Remember that?
Yeah.
Where they had to redesign Sonic because the fans totally revolted.
Yeah, that was wild. It just shows how much power fans have these days.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it comes to these huge franchises that people grew up with.
Right, and it's not just about, updated graphics or whatever. It's way deeper than that. The first Shrek movie came out over 20 years ago.
Uh-huh.
For a lot of people, that movie is tied to their childhood. It's a specific feeling.
Yeah.
And the way it looks to the characters, everything brings back those memories, good memories. So when they change that stuff up, it can almost feel like they're messing with those memories.
Yeah, it's true. I get that. The article actually quotes some of the fan reactions, and some of them are hilarious. One person said that Shrek looks like he discovered Botox.
Oh, my God.
I know, right? And then someone else said Donkey looks like he needs a vacation.
Poor Donkey.
And then there's a bunch of people comparing it to cheaper animation or whatever. But it makes you think, right? Character design is more than just how things look. It's it tells you about their personality and their emotions and even the whole mood of the movie.
And it's it sets the tone.
Totally. So when you change that stuff up even just a little bit, it can make people think that the whole direction of the franchise is changing. And that can be kind of scary for people who really love the original.
I can see that. It makes you wonder, right? Is the studio trying to reach a whole new generation of Shrek fans? Or are they just trying to, keep up with how animation has totally changed since the first Shrek came out? CG animation is so much more advanced now. Maybe they're just trying to take advantage of that and make something that looks amazing.
Yeah, that's a good point. The first Shrek was a big deal for its time, but CG has come so far.
Yeah.
Now you can create these characters with insane detail and they look almost real. So maybe they just want to show off what they can do now.
Yeah, maybe.
But then there's a question of will the people who love the first Shrek like it? Or is it going to be too different for them?
That is the question, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tough balance, right?
Yeah.
You want to keep the old fans happy, but also bring in new people.
For sure. And it's it's not just about the technology either, right? You got to think about why certain art styles work for people. Why do they connect with them? Think about those old Disney movies or even the early Pixar films. Those art styles are so recognizable, so iconic,
Exactly. And they instantly bring back all these emotions and memories.
Right. And when you try to change those visuals, it's almost you're messing with that feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's speaking a different language.
Totally. So how do you bridge that gap? How do you, introduce a new look without making the people who love the old look mad?
Well, I think you gotta focus on the core stuff.
Yeah.
What makes the franchise special. With Shrek, it's that humor. That makes fun of fairy tales and the characters. They're so unique, and those things got to stay no matter what the animation looks like.
The article did mention that Mike Myers and Cameron Diaz and Eddie Murphy are all coming back. Yeah. So maybe hearing those voices again will help people adjust to the new look.
Maybe, yeah. Like, I mean, we all know those voices, right? They're like Shrek and Fiona and Donkey. So hearing them again could like remind people of the original movies. But I mean, even then, the visuals are still a big change.
Yeah, and it's not just the characters themselves. It's like the whole world, right? Like the swamp and, the kingdom and all those little details that make Shrek look like Shrek.
Totally. Like that environment design is like just as important as the characters. It's what creates the atmosphere, the mood.
Yeah, for sure. I guess we'll have to wait and see how they handle all that. But, one thing the article pointed out was that the director, this guy, Walt Dorn, he's like a Shrek veteran. Like he worked on the second, third, and fourth movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So maybe that'll make some fans feel better. Like the guy in charge knows Shrek inside and out.
Yeah, if he really gets Shrek, then that's a good sign.
Right. But you know what else is interesting? The article said some fans are actually excited about the changes. They see it as like a way for the franchise to grow and try new things. Like they're not just stuck in the past.
That's awesome. It just goes to show you how different the fans are. Like some people want things to stay the same and some people are like, bring on the new stuff.
Exactly. And the filmmakers have to figure out how to make everybody happy.
Which is like almost impossible.
It's like walking a tightrope.
Totally. And, the release date is still like 3 years away. Christmas 2026. So there's a lot of time for them to, figure things out and listen to what the fans are saying.
3 years is like forever on the internet. I can only imagine the fan theories that are going to come out between now and then. Like, do you think they'll bring Puss in Boots back? Will there be like new fairy tale characters? Will we finally get that like Shrek origin story everyone's been wanting?
Oh, man, who knows?
Yeah.
That's what makes it so exciting, though. Like, we've got this little teaser and some hints, but like anything could happen.
Right. And it's not just about like, what happens in the movie. It's about like the themes, The first few Shrek movies, they talked about stuff like body image and, being different and being yourself and all that. So I wonder what kind of message Shrek 5 is going to have, especially since it's for families and kids.
Yeah, that's a great point. Like, the world has changed a lot since the last Shrek movie. There's like so much new stuff going on in the world, So it'd be interesting to see how Shrek 5 deals with that.
Totally. Speaking of, the audience, what do you think they're thinking right now? Like, are they excited? Are they freaking out? Are they somewhere in between?
Probably a little bit of everything, I mean, this teaser definitely got people talking. And that's not a bad thing. It means people still care about Shrek.
Yeah, that's true. Even if some of those people are like, not happy about it.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what being a fan is all about, right? Like,
Right.
You're invested. You care. Even if it means like complaining online or whatever.
Exactly. Like if people didn't care, they wouldn't even bother,
Yeah.
So even the negative stuff is kind of a good sign. It means Shrek is still important to people.
Totally.
So, okay, like let's pretend we're the filmmakers for a second.
Yeah.
They put out this teaser and people are like losing their minds. What do they do next? Do they just like keep going with the new style? Do they try to like make the angry fans happy? Do they just ignore it and hope everyone chills out?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. I think they got to like listen to what people are saying, but also, stick to their vision. Like they got to find a way to make both things work. Honoring the old Shrek, but also making something new and cool.
Yeah, and maybe that means like taking some risks, like not just doing the same old thing.
Definitely. I mean, the first Shrek was a risk. It like
Yeah.
took fairy tales and like flipped them on their head. It was funny and like a little edgy. And the animation was like amazing for its time.
Yeah.
Maybe Shrek 5 needs to do something like that again.
I totally agree. And you know what? Maybe these visual changes are part of that. Like maybe they're trying to like shake things up on purpose, like make us rethink what a Shrek movie can be.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And if that's what they're doing, it'll be interesting to see how they explain it in the movie. Like, is there a reason Shrek looks different? Is it part of the story? Or is it just like a style thing?
Ooh, yeah, good point. Like maybe it's not just a random change. Maybe it like means something for the story.
We'll have to see. But I mean, one thing's for sure, this teaser got everyone talking. It's like we're all thinking about animation and nostalgia and, how to make new versions of old things. And I think people are going to be talking about this stuff for a while, like until the movie comes out.
Oh, yeah, for sure. This is just the beginning. We've got like 3 years to go. So many questions. Like, what's going to happen in the movie? Are there new characters? Will they finally tell us what's in Shrek's swamp mud?
Okay, maybe not that last one.
But you get the idea. There's so much we don't know, and that's exciting. So, okay, before we wrap things up, let's hear from you, our amazing listeners. What are you hoping for in Shrek 5? What are you worried about? Are you excited about the changes? Are you like scared to see what they've done to Shrek?
Yeah, and like, what does Shrek even mean to you? Like, why do you think these movies are still so popular after all these years?
So yeah, think about all that and
Awesome.
stay tuned for more Shrek 5 news. Until then, keep those imaginations going. Maybe avoid the Botox just in case.